Well, this morning, as we continue to follow the protests and demonstrations against recent ICE sweeps in LA, we know that fear has spread, especially among migrant communities. Now, we're getting some clarity this morning on immigration policy within California, and we're also hearing more about the resources that are available for families. So this morning, I'm joined in studio with immigration attorney Andrew Newcomb and First Five Executive Director Jackie Wong. So thank you both for making the time this morning.
Thank you again for having us back.
Of course. So we've had the chance to chat a lot here on Fox 40, and you often help California families. That's the whole focus of First Five. But you're also focusing on helping immigrant families. So how did you get started with this work?
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. A few years ago, when there was an Afghan refugee and asylee issue, the California Children and Families Commission decided to actually get involved in immigration because it was such a prevalent part of our lives. And kind of we want to promote inclusion and really create the safe, stable, nurturing environments that are necessary for Californians to thrive. With that, we began to make an initial investment in what we could do to actually bring families together, bring the supports together, and began partnerships with folks like Andrew Newcomb to really kind of unpack the challenges that immigrant families were facing navigating the system and whatnot. So,
okay, so this is work that you've been doing for some years now.
For a couple years now, So it's fairly new. So the last 4 years, we've been involved in actually kind of building up our First Five network to really address the needs of immigrant families.
Okay.
And we've been learning a lot in these partnerships.
Yeah, so helping out a lot of families here in California. And when we talk to Andrew and your partnership, some of the services that you're providing, you have about a decade experience when it comes to immigration law.
That's right. I started as a paralegal in 2014, 2015, and did a lot of clinical work in law school. After that, I moved to San Jose and started a radio program, and that led me into a connection with the San Jose Mexican Consulate. And so I show up there and provide pro bono legal services once a week and just make myself available to the community, host workshops and that kind of a thing.
That's incredible. I can imagine that's very empowering for the families that you're helping, especially with those free services. So working with First Five, you're helping out different families. Some of those families, they're mixed status, meaning some of the children may be citizens. Maybe that's not the same for aunts, uncles, grandparents. Do you find that being of mixed status does help when it comes to moving forward with the immigration process here in California?
Well, absolutely. I mean, one of the most common questions that I get at the San Jose Mexican Consulate when I set myself up to do free consultations is, I have a son or daughter who's about to turn 21. I've been living in this country for many years. I always pay my taxes. I don't have any criminal record. Is there anything I can do? And so navigating those complexities, whether, there's a difference between people that came in typically with a visa or people that can benefit from a prior family petition prior to April 30, 2001, can usually apply for residency here in the United States, whereas other folks may have to do a longer line, which ultimately leads them to a consular office in their country of origin. And so just helping explain the nuances between those two things. Of course, it's also very important, especially in these times, to consider that if someone is detained by immigration authorities, it's best, of course, to not divulge information. You should save those arguments for a judge at your hearing, invoke your right to remain silent, to speak with counsel. But there are very important defenses to deportation that are available for people that can demonstrate they've been here for at least 10 years and do have immediate relatives that have lawful status.
Okay, so there are options. And of course, case by case, there are different things that folks can do. I mean, that's part of the reason why we're meeting here today. We want to provide some clarity, especially as we're seeing what's happening in Los Angeles. I can imagine it can make some families, some folks uneasy. And I did want to follow up with that. I mean, as we're seeing these images out of LA, what have you found, especially in Northern California? You practice in the Bay Area. What are your clients experiencing? We're not necessarily seeing the same type of raids that they've carried out in Southern California so far.
I mean, it's a very pervasive culture of fear, I think, that we've seen since the beginning of this administration with regard to doing certain actions which have been pretty blatantly unconstitutional, but then creating that specter out there where people are afraid, I'm going to be sent to some Salvadorian mega prison for the rest of my life without any due process, and I think part of the strategy behind that is understanding they don't necessarily have the resources, the manpower, or just the time or the amount of immigration judges and officers they would need to do mass deportations while preserving due process. So they're attempting attempting to do these things that are very big, very public, that create a lot of fear. A lot of people, questions that I feel that the San Jose consulate can range from, should I still take my child to school? If my child has a deadly accident, am I allowed to take them to the hospital? Should I file my taxes? And so those kinds of things are out there in the community causing fear and really undermining, public trust.
Yeah. Well, you two are both providing incredible resources to California families. And again, we just want to cut through the noise, especially as we're seeing a lot of these images that are provoking a bit of fear for some families here in California. So thank you for stopping by. And we're going to follow up with both First Five and immigration attorney Newcomb coming up at the 8:45 hour. So make sure to stay with us.